Okay, the election was a gut punch, right? And all of us need a moment to catch our breath. But that's all. That's all we get, because this is a long-term battle that we're in, and we have enormous democratic strength to give us heart and hope for a progressive future. Yesterday's Trump surge is certainly depressing and dangerous, but the message of that surge is not for progressives to sulk and surrender. Rather, let's realize that a majority of the American people have been fairly shouting at the Democratic Party establishment to get out of the corporate boardrooms and out of the Washington salons, and instead get out there with that majority, get out there with them standing unequivocally, FDR-like, for the interests of that workaday majority, and standing forthrightly on the very volatile central issues of power and powerlessness in our nation. Election analysts will hurl all sorts of electoral statistics at us following this election, but there's one statistic that I think tells the real story. Despite the intensity and importance of this year's presidential election, some 20 million fewer people voted than in 2020. Kamala Harris drew 14 million fewer people than Joe Biden did 4 years ago. And despite Trump's grandiose claim of unparalleled popular support, he actually got 3 million fewer votes this year than he did in 2020. A big reason for Harris's defeat, I think, in addition to the sexism and racism that still raises its ugly head in our society, is that her campaign focused on how awful Trump is rather than bringing a clear message of economic hope for hard-pressed families. She bought into the establishment's assertions that, objectively, the economy is doing great. While they exclaim that the Dow Jones average is booming, most people are saying a boom for whom? If you go out and check the Doug Jones average, you'll find that Doug and Donna are struggling, and they're finding some compatibility with Trump's message that the whole system is rigged. And when Harris did strike populist gold with her plan for Medicare to provide home health care to help families who are struggling with the high cost of care for their families, for their seniors and people with disabilities and more, few people even knew she had said that, because she did not hammer it day in and day out. Trump's core message, magnified by X and this gaggle of other far-right media propagandists, is avowedly plutocratic, xenophobic, racist, and sexist. But I believe that America as a whole is better than that. So our challenge is not to try to appease some of the MAGA extremists, but to buck up and recommit to the hard, steady work of grassroots organizing, directly challenging what I call the 6 Bs, the bosses, bankers, billionaires, big shots, bastards, and bullshitters who are running roughshod over the workaday majority in our country. True progressivism has had to endure many downs, but it's the ups that define us. So the fight continues with renewed vigor. See you there.